ever asked yourself how'd it get that way? Times are a-changing. El Presidente lost his mind. Everything's upside down and that just ain't right. You don't like our country. You don't like our flag. What makes you think that we give a damn about that? There's a million pissed off rednecks just like me. And we're all sick and tired of this bullshit on TV. I guess you didn't know, but you don't mess with General Lee. If you have a right to burn my flag, then I have a right to kick your ass. You don't like our traditions. You say we've done you wrong. Why don't you pack up your bags and take your ass back home? This is my home, and son, I'm mad as hell. I think whooping your ass is worth a couple nights in jail. There's a million pissed off rednecks just like me, and we're all sick and tired of this bullshit called PC. I guess you didn't know, but you don't mess with General Lee. Kick your ass. There's a million pissed off rednecks just like me, and we're all sick and tired of this bullshit on TV. Didn't know, but you don't mess generally. If you have a right to burn my flag, right to kick your ass. You have a right to burn my flag, and I have a right to kick your ass.
Chlorella is absolutely one of my...
Have you ever asked yourself how'd it get that way? Times are a-changing. El Presidente lost his mind. Everything's upside down and that just ain't right. You don't like our country. You don't like our flag. What makes you think that we give a damn about that? There's a million pissed off rednecks just like me, and we're all sick and tired of this bullshit on TV. I guess you didn't know, but you don't mess with General Lee. If you have a right to burn pack up your bags and take your ass back home. This is my home, and son, I'm mad as hell. I think whooping your ass is worth a couple nights in jail. There's a million pissed off rednecks just like me, and we're all sick and tired of this bullshit called PC. I guess you didn't know, but you don't mess with generally. If you have a right to burn my flag, then I have a right to kick your ass. Flag, then I have a right to kick your ass. There's a million pissed off rednecks just like me, and we're all sick and tired of this bullshit on TV. I guess you didn't know, but you don't mess generally. If you have a right to burn my flag, I have a right to kick your ass. You have a right to burn my flag, I have a right to kick your ass.
Hey, I just read an unbelievable article in the...
Through the roof, gun control is on the rise. We make our ends meet, take what we need to survive. A shot, one kill is such a thrill. That's the way that I was raised. When I pick up a gun, I hit right where I aim. It's time to take a stand. It's time to draw the line. You better bring yours when you come to take mine. Granddaddy taught my daddy how to hunt and how to fish, how to be a man. Don't take any shit. Raised up on the good book, learned about the land. They grew what they ate, they didn't get it from Uncle Sam. It's time to take a stand. It's time to draw the line. You better bring yours when you come to take mine. So go and round up all them Yankee boys, get ready for a fight. I'll round up all my rebel friends, meet you at the Mason-Dixon line. 'Cause the South is gonna rise again, and we're gonna kick your ass this time. You better bring yours when you come to take mine. It's not really about north or south, it's about red, white, and blue. I'll fight beside any Yankee man if he feels like I do. We'll stand here today and we'll proudly say to the man in the suit and tie, you better bring yours when you come to take mine. So go and round up all them Yankee boys, get ready for a fight. You might have won that war back in 1865, but the South is gonna rise again, and we're gonna kick your ass this time. You better bring yours when you come to take mine. You better bring yours when you come to take mine. You can bring yours, but Mr. President, you ain't taking mine.
1,000 generations live in you now.
These days you can't get a man to work. People get married and they still flirt. Don't pledge allegiance to our flag like we used to do. Good men are willing to give their lives while politicians take away our rights, saying they know best what's good for you. These days dads are always gone. Mama's still here, but she's on her phone. Grandma's raising the kids, and the devil is too. If you ask me, this whole world is gone to hell. I speak the truth, but these days the truth won't sell. I bleed red, white, and blue in my ways you just can't change. Wrong or right, I give my life for this place called USA. There's no other place that I'd rather live. Love my wife and teach my kids about the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm sick and tired of people putting it down. If you don't like it here, get the heck out of town. Go and find somewhere you love, it's fine with me. 'Cause we don't need people riding the fence. You're either riding with us or you're riding with them. Make up your mind which side you stand. If you ask me, this whole world is gone to hell. I speak the truth, but these days the truth won't sell. I bleed red, white, and blue in my ways you just can't change. Wrong or right, I give my life for this place called USA. called USA. If you ask me, this whole world is gone to hell. I speak the truth, but these days the truth won't sell. I bleed red, white, and blue in my ways you just can't change. Wrong or right, I give my life for this place called USA. Wrong or right, I give my life for this place called USA.
It's May 5th, 2020. Wow. What's going on, folks? Wow, that might be a little loud. What do you think? I don't know. We are frozen right now. There we go. We're a little frozen. It's been a while since we've been on the air, so it's going to take a minute to work out the bugs. That's what we were doing behind the scenes. But hey, we're back. Still big in the news since we talked to you last, coronavirus. Like to get a lot of people's thoughts on that. Justin's going to put up on the screen our number that you can call in, be live. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's 219-380-9918. 219-380-9918. Call in. You call in about any topic. And let us know. We're coronavirus news. We're going to talk about other things now. What am I seeing? We were on lockdown for in our house for 40 days. Complete quarantine. We've loosened up the restrictions at our house a little bit as far as we're still doing the safe thing, wearing the mask, social distancing, whatever. But what we're seeing in the math just really don't warrant what's been going on. I believe that, we did the math. In LaPorte County, your chances of dying of the coronavirus, COVID-19, is 0.005. 0.005 is your chances of dying of the COVID-19. Your chances in the state of Indiana of dying of the COVID, using their numbers, is 0.01. 0.01, I believe. Or is it 0.02? I'm not sure. Maybe 0.01 or 0.02. But it really doesn't. We were doing the math, and that's what it turns out to be. Really no cause for what we've been going through, especially for those who are going without work, without jobs. It puts a hardship on the families, and how are you going to pay rent? How are you going to, I've heard it said, hey, we're in this together. You see it on YouTube all the time with these celebrities talking about we're in this together, but the actuality is we're all in different boats. We're definitely in a different boat than them. Our asses are in a rowboat. They're in a yacht. So basically, that's where we stand right now. I say go back to work. Everybody says you're crazy. You know what? wear your face masks. We are. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking protection, but I just, we have 68,000 deaths in the United States.
I haven't checked them in a while.
Everybody, I just got tired of watching it. Now, I will say this. I do have a buddy who had it, and his wife. I know a few people who've had it, and they were like, man, you don't want to get it. You do not want to get it. It is awful. The guy I talked to my buddy who's had it is in his 50s. And he was down and out for 2 weeks. But I'm going to tell you what, in November, and you've heard me talk about this before, in November I had respiratory and sickness infection that had me out for a month. I mean, I could barely breathe. I was tempted to go to the emergency room, but I didn't. I was taking breathing treatments here at home. But you definitely don't want to get this. But I believe we've been getting it since November of last year. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying, hey, I think we made too much. And you know what? I was wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong. Now, is it infectious? Yeah, I believe it's more infectious than the flu. It's just not as deadly as the flu is. And we never shut down for the flu. So, I mean, I don't want my children to get it. I don't want my relatives to, I don't want any of you to get it. But we don't shut shit down for the flu. And the infection rate, yeah, I guess it's higher than the flu. The death rate is about the same. But when you look at the graphs, the flu and pneumonia deaths have gone down to almost zero, and everything's COVID. And when they're getting extra money for COVID deaths, yeah, what are they going to tell you? Mark it down, COVID. Mark it down. So how many of these deaths are really COVID? We don't know. I mean, we're never going to get the true numbers of this. But I'll tell you what, I mean, we can't stay locked up indefinitely. We have to start getting out there and start getting on with our lives. Now, what I want to talk about today is a thing called the Hegelian dialect. And broke down in its easiest form is problem, reaction, solution. This is a evil, it's used for evil. It's used by the elite to get power. Now, for those who are in 9/11 truth, who don't believe the 9/11 story, which we don't, I don't buy it. Anybody who's studied it, looked at it, there's no way you could believe this. But I will say that, in 9/11, we use this, they use this on us. What it is you cause a panic. They will cause a panic. Say, all right, we want to take away your right. And I'm not saying COVID is the Hegelian dialectic. What I'm saying is that if my goal was to take away your freedom from roaming the streets, say that's my goal as the elite. I don't want you out and about. I don't want you living your normal life. I don't want you going to work. I don't, I want to bankrupt you. I want to, hinder your way of life. How could I do that? Well, I start a panic. All right. I say there's a disease that's out there that, 100 million, 200 million Americans will die if you're outside or around people. And then what does that cause? That causes a wide panic. So everybody comes to you, the government, for the answers. And my answer would be the solution. The solution is don't go nowhere, don't go to work, don't go, only one person can go shopping at a time. If you're like me, you don't like your wife going to town by herself, especially at night. Only one person can go out shopping, they take control. And that's the solution to bankrupt you. So their problem, reaction, solution. So problem, then you get panic, then you have the problem. Reaction is panic. Solution is shut everything down. We had that on 9/11. We had that a lot, and a lot of our problems in the United States have come, and we found out that, if you do your research, and most of everything we're told by our government is bullshit, is lies and propaganda. I mean, when you go on, if you listen to mainstream media, you would swear that President Trump told people to drink Lysol or inject Clorox into their veins. I mean, you got to be some kind of special retarded to believe that your president would have told you to do that. I mean, that is fucking asinine. But you know what? The masses watching their CNN and their MSNBC, they believed it. Come to find out, we talked about this. The woman that her husband died from drinking fish tank cleaner. Yeah, come to find out, she murdered her husband with it. Yeah, she gave it to him. There was no, she knew better. Unfortunately, he didn't. But yeah, she fed him some fishbowl cleaner and killed him. But that was Donald Trump's fault. So, what do you think? I mean, anybody out there want to call in and give their opinion on what's going on? Some examples of this problem. Reaction solution. No, the Hegelian dialectic. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. If you're into conspiracy theories, I am sure you know what this is. So, anybody out there, our phone number, can you type it in? Did you type it in? 219-380-9918. 380-9918. If you don't call in, this is not going to get any more exciting. I promise. I don't know if we talked about this. Justin could be my witness. I could actually even bring in my wife, and she can tell you. We went to Washington, D.C., 2 years ago?
Yes, we did. I was there. I know.
I can't hear a word you're saying in my headphones, so.
Yes, I was there. I know.
All right, yes. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They don't know, dumbass.
I was a witness, though.
Shut up, boy. Anyway, we went to Washington, D.C., and we went and visited the Pentagon, the 9/11 memorial site. And have we talked about this on air?
Definitely.
Have we? There is no damn way a plane hit that fucking building. Not at all. We talked to taxi drivers. We talked to people that were there that morning. They said, no plane, just an explosion. Light posts were already down.
Just boom.
Just a big boom.
Yeah, just big boom.
Big boom. Cab stunk like sweat, but big boom. Because some people are stinky. I don't know why I said that, but that was probably, he's a racist. I'm not a racist. No, I'm not. But, yeah, the big news now is not the COVID, but, well, I guess COVID is still huge news. especially if your name's Como.
Yeah.
The Killer Hornets. What do you think?
We didn't talk about those.
We didn't talk about those. Now these things are as big as my junk. Like 2 inches. And the sting is just as deadly. Now we got some hornets that are coming out stinging people. I don't know. It's in Washington State, I guess. The same place COVID started. It's one thing after another. Holy shit. Man. I don't understand.
Still better than hearing about school shootings every day.
Yeah, it is. It is. But one thing I did notice, gun sales went up. Did shootings go up?
I don't know.
I don't think shootings did go up, except for Chicago.
I'm not so sure. It has been that warm out.
I do know that there probably hasn't been a lot because the gun-free zones have been closed.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to do a mass shooting, you go to a gun-free zone, like Chicago, where only criminals have the guns. Yeah. But hey, we got somebody calling. All right. Who is calling? Hello?
Hello, talk about Tower 7.
Talk about Tower 7. What would you like me to talk about in Tower 7?
Everything about it, how late it was when it went down.
All right. Well, we'll talk about. Do you want to stay on the line with us? Can I have your name, please?
Harry Morrison.
Harry Morrison. And I believe I know you, don't I?
I think so.
All right. Well, we'll talk.
If you got my shirts done today, you know me.
I don't have your shirts done.
Oh, you don't know me then.
I don't know you. All right, bro.
Your wife said you was out in the garage all day today.
I was
working.
I was working on something else.
Oh, okay.
I'll talk to you about it. I did get some stuff for you, though.
All righty.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Harry. We'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so they bring up Building 7. Harry brings up Building 7. Thing about Building 7 is the buildings were struck around 9 o'clock in the morning within the first tower was.
He was there. He knows.
I wasn't there.
He died.
As a matter of fact, I was in Chicago when this happened at a print expo. But anyway, oh yeah, my oldest son said I was there when he was in kindergarten. I died in World Trade Center. But
Yeah.
So then I walked into a parent-teachers conference, and she's like, "Mr. Fisher." I'm like, "Yeah." Well, your son told us you died in the World Trade Center. Well, my son's a lying ass. But anyway, so the buildings get hit at early in the morning, 9 o'clock. Second tower gets hit. It's funny, the second tower burns for an hour.
I don't think it's funny. I think it's
No, I mean, but it only burns for an hour. The initial explosion was all the fuel. The fuel burned off immediately at the crash. But office furniture burning and paper and carpet caused steel to melt, and that tower collapsed within an hour. The second tower. Now, the first tower that was hit, then it fell. Later on that night, Building 7, a lot of people don't even know what Building 7 is. As a matter of fact, Joe Novak, who's on our show, who calls all the time, he had no idea what Building 7 was. This is before he was awake. He used to laugh at me all the time. "Oh, man, you are a conspiracy theorist. Oh, I don't believe this shit. You're tinfoil hat wearing." Showed him a picture or a video of Building 7 collapsing. It's World Trade Center Building 7. And I showed him a picture. I didn't tell him what it was. He goes, "What is that? Is that an implosion? Is that them taking down a building?" I said, "No, it's Building 7. It fell on 9/11. What? Yeah, it was part of the World Trade Center complex. Building 7. It fell at about 5 o'clock in the evening that night. Had never been hit by a plane. Had a small fire on the left-hand side. Well, it depends on which way you're looking at it, I guess. But there was a small pockets of fire, and it fell perfect into its own footprint at free fall speed. Do me a favor and, Google. I mean, even on Google it. Go to YouTube. Put in Building 7 falls. It was on the BBC. The woman was
telling us
that the Building 7 had fallen.
Yeah.
And it hadn't even fallen yet. It was still standing in the background.
And then 5 minutes later, she says, turns around, oh, there it goes.
Keep in mind, the Building 7 was called the Sullivan Brothers Building. So she's up there. Building 7, the Sullivan Brothers Building, has collapsed. It's standing right behind her. And then when they realize that it's still behind her, you get the test screen, the different color lines, and all of a sudden they lost connection with her. Yeah, they lost connection with her. The plan didn't go as expected. They reported too soon.
I was talking about a different news station then. They were saying that it fell and that it falls right behind her as she was reporting.
Yeah, and you can hear, there's one reporter that has a woman with a baby carriage, and she's talking to the woman with the baby in a stroller, and you can hear the explosions before the building falls, demolition explosions, and then the building falls. The guy who had the lease on the Silverstein, I believe his name is, he even there would been so much loss of life, we decided pull it. Pull it means to bring it down. When you're bringing down buildings and you're into that demolition, the term pull it means to basically implode the building, bring it down. So basically, Building 7 is the key if you're looking at 9/11. And in all reality, that I do not even believe that was in the NIST report. NIST. Go ahead and look that up. NIST report. They said there was no bomb residue or explosive residue, but every other private source that tested all the residue found bomb residue, nanothermite, which is a military grade accelerant explosive. It'll melt through an engine block like butter, a hot knife through butter. I mean, it's really look into it. I mean, anybody brings up, 9/11 was an inside job, you're considered whack. You sound like a conspiracy theorist. Well, that's because I don't believe the Kennedy assassination. That's why I'm a conspiracy theorist. That's where that term come up. So
then Joe, after calling you conspiracy theorist,
then he is now everything's a conspiracy.
Now he is known as the residential conspiracy.
Yeah, he is a residential conspiracy theorist. Everything is a conspiracy with Mr. Joe. But I don't know, is Joe on? I don't know if Joe's watching or listening, but Joe, give us a call if you're tuned in. Of course, probably no one who co-hosts the show with us when we're not under stay-at-home orders and stuff is going to be calling in. But guys, we are going to start getting back together, so our panel's going to be back here shortly. So I need to talk to everybody and see who's coming back.
That means I gotta redo the setup.
Oh my goodness, it is our residential conspiracy theorist, Joseph Novak. There he is.
Yeah.
How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I called you once earlier and it didn't go through. I'm like, what? And I got your voicemail. And then so I turned the volume back up because I turned it down so we don't get feedback.
Yeah.
So I turned down, I'm watching. You go, oh, we got a call. I was like, he's, because you're a little bit delayed. And I was like, oh, that ain't me.
Oh, no. So
you were saying about gun deaths going down?
Yes.
No, you said about gun deaths not going up?
Yes.
Actually, they probably did, but they got counted as COVID-19 deaths.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
People got killed in an explosion when their meth lab blew up, died of COVID,
Yep.
Yeah.
And, and there's a lot. They're giving hospitals in these places incentive to say it's COVID.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
but the interesting thing,
the person is dead. I mean, you're not killing the person. So if I can make $15,000 by saying that he died of a certain thing, I can't bring that life back. But you know what I can do? I can get me some scratch. And,
that's right. Oh, yeah.
And what's their incentive not to say it's COVID?
Right. There isn't one.
There's not one. There's one.
Yeah.
I mean...
I was watching the video. There was a nurse, and she was up in Oregon, and kind of where it started up that area before. She said, at the peak we had 9 COVID patients in our hospital. And she said now, because they cancel all elective surgeries and all that stuff. And she said people are, not feeling well, but they're like, well, I don't want to go to the hospital because I don't want to get sick. So she said, we have, no patients. She said they're down to 2 COVID patients, and she's getting laid off. She's like, I got no job now.
Yeah, but that's going on all across the United States.
Yeah. I've heard other people say, well, I'm sick, or I got to take care of this issue, or I got, some other problems I got to get surgery on, but I'm not going in, so, I don't want to get sick. And it's like, wow, it's like destroying the medical industry,
Oh, it's terrible. We were talking about the Hegelian dialectic and problem, reaction, solution. And I'm not saying this was it, but if it was, it worked.
Oh, yeah.
The numbers, when you crunch them, it's the flu. I mean, it may be, my buddy, I don't know if I told you who it was. I don't want to say his name on air.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah.
But, I mean, he ain't a bullshitter. I mean, he's going to tell me the truth. And he's a healthy guy.
Right.
And he said, dude, never been that sick before in my life.
Yeah.
You do not want to get it. But I don't want to get the flu. And you know what the worst sickness is in your life, I've learned? Whatever you're sick from right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, you're right, man. You're right. Because other stuff, you're over.
So, I mean,
I don't tell you how many times I've heard people say, this is as sick as I've ever been.
This toothache, it hurts worse than any pain I've ever had. Until you stub your toe, and then, this toe. But, this guy ain't full of shit. I mean, he's telling the truth. That, he was sick.
Oh, yeah.
And to keep this dude down for 2 weeks, it's hard to do.
Yeah, I know him.
But
a little bit.
He a great guy. Great guy. Great human being. His wife got it. He got it. All the friends at a party he had got it. Everyone at his office got it. One guy's been out for 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks, but he's in his 70s, I believe. But no one has died. I mean...
Just like I said, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the truth is. All I know is we're getting lies. I mean, and I suppose from both sides, I mean, it's a tug of war of our minds.
And that's what it is. You don't want to, you don't want to be the one to say, it's nothing. I know it's something. And I'm sure the infection rate is high, but quite honestly, I think I already had it. Because I can tell you that is the scaredest I've ever been. I mean, I don't get scared when I get sick, but that scared the crap out of me because I couldn't breathe. I was taking, and I don't like taking medicines, but I was taking breathing treatments and stuff because I couldn't breathe. I kept going to the doctor, but it's just a cold or a lung thing. They
something else.
I didn't have the flu.
I saw a thing where there was the president of some country in like Africa or something like that. They got their test kits and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And the president's like, let's run a test. And he ran. He took a sample from a goat.
Uh-huh.
And one from a pawpaw. Like the fruit pawpaw.
Like a grandpa?
Yeah.
All right.
Like pawpaw, Michigan. It's like a fruit. It's like a mango.
Okay.
And they tested the mango and they tested the goat and they sent those off and they both came back positive.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So he's like, we're not even going to use these because they're not reliable, but.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to find the article and send it to you.
Do you know where them tests were from?
No, but they said they got them into their country, so I'm not sure if they came from China or where they came from. I'm not sure, but I'll send you the article.
Now, I'm not saying my family wears masks when they go out.
Yeah.
My wife, anybody who lives in my house. Now, Austin and his wife live in an apartment below us. They have decided to go out and do their own thing, which, I don't blame them. They're young. They were cooped up for over a month. Austin's back to work. Everybody's healthy. Everybody's good. Go. That's fine. But I still have an elderly person living here. And like you've said to me, you don't want her getting the flu, let alone something else.
Yeah.
So we're still wearing masks, but we're not, we don't have a location where we spray each other off with bleach and, jumping in the shower and, we wash our hands and we wear a mask when we go out.
We sounded like
drinking Lysol.
We're taking precautions still but I think this is a new thing we're going to be doing anyway as Americans. We did get a little lackadaisical about washing hands. I never realized how little I washed my hands until I started washing my hands now. And I'm like, man, I was one dirty son of a bitch. I mean, I still am, but...
I know, I was going to say, yeah, you're dirty.
But,
the way I kind of equate it to, like, if someone's pointing a gun at you saying, okay, give me your money.
Uh-huh.
Are you going to gamble if there's bullets in there or not?
Yeah,
some people will be like, no, you don't have any bullets. And people are like, you know what, I'm not taking the chance,
Yep. And I think that's where I'm at.
It's a shame that they would do that to us, you know what I mean?
I mean, and anybody who's wondering who this person is in my house, it's my mom. She's in her 70s. She has lupus. She has a disease called Sjogren's syndrome. I'm just putting her medical facts right out there. My mom, rheumatoid
She's going to sue you for hippo law.
Yeah. So my mom can barely walk. I mean, Joe knows my mom. Her hands are all crippled. She can't walk. I mean, she's not in great shape. I would hate to be in her shape, which I will be probably shortly. But she can still use her hands to smoke a cigarette though. So, but she. I don't want to bring this to I would hate to bring this into my house and my mother die. At some point, my mom says right now, she says, we did the numbers, we broke down the numbers, and here's your chances of getting it. Here's your chances of dying. And, I mean, just the chances of getting it don't even... Yeah, when you look at the mortality rate is what matters. And when you look at the mortality rate...
Even if the chances are 1 in 2,000 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean...
You don't want to take that. with her because she would probably die from it, you know.
But my mom says, you know what? I ain't scared. We got to get on with our lives. My mom yesterday, she wanted to go to the store with my wife, and she would have went, but they won't let two people in. I mean, my mom hasn't gone nowhere for like 4 months. Nowhere.
Yeah.
And she's gnawing at the bit just to get out of the house. You know, we've been trying to take her outside, but you know, it's not really for her. It's when it's okay for me. It's cold for her. You know, it's got to be basically 200 degrees for her to be comfortable.
She's gnawing at the bit because you've got her saddled up, do you?
I got her saddled. Well, I put her.
She wants to get out.
But I mean, and you know what? I don't blame her. And she says, you know, I'm ready to get out. I'm not afraid of it. Let's get on with it.
Yep.
And in actuality, they're talking about, oh, well, we got to stop the death. That was never the plan on lowering the curve. The curve had to do with not overwhelming the hospitals. They've never.
Well, they didn't.
They've never said they wanted to stop it. As a matter of fact, if you're going to get immunity from it, you can't stop it. You have to let it run its course.
Did you see that video of the two doctors in California?
Yeah,
talking about that?
They're like, well, they were taken off of YouTube. How quick?
Yeah. Like, you know, look, we're not wearing our masks because, and you know, that's because even when they wear the mask, it's for the patients. It's not for them.
Yeah.
It's as far as for them, they want to keep their immunity system healthy, not hamper it.
And we were talking about this as a family. From being in this house, because we went into quarantine way before everybody else.
Yep. For your mom's sake.
For my mom's sake, we went in before everybody else because you're given these facts from these people that you're supposed to be able to trust, and come to find out, they are so overblown. I mean, we're not just talking, oops, a little mistake. We're talking hundreds of millions. I mean, this has been ridiculous. But, you know, for the sake of my mother, which I don't regret, and like I said the whole time, I hope I'm wrong. And you know what? I was.
Like usual.
And I'm glad I was wrong.
You say, you're used to it though, right?
I am. But but here's the thing. I ain't going to go licking toilet bowls. I ain't going to look to get it.
There are people that are doing that.
I know, and they're idiots.
Yeah.
You know, half the people in LaPorte County ain't got to worry about getting it anyway because they all got herpes.
Yep.
I'm just playing. No, but I heard something about if you've had cold sores.
Yeah, I've been messing around with midgets. I'm worried about getting torpies now. That's the whole other thing, torpies, man. You know.
I had torpies. I heard a statistic that like 1 in 4 people in LaPorte County have herpes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I guess if you have herpes, you're pretty safe from COVID. But that's what they said. So
Find the dirtiest prostitute you can.
So I guess you can be thankful for your riddled body of, you know, herpes infestation. So I'm thankful for my herpes infestation. But like we're saying, I'm saying is, you know what, you use common sense. If you have an elderly person or somebody sick at home, wear a mask. If you know, if you're wearing a mask, you know, and you ain't got it, you don't live with somebody with a illness or an elderly person, and you wear a mask, you're still helping protect people from getting it. Although the CDC did say, if you remember back when we started talking about this, don't wear masks, and then all of a sudden wear masks. But they're saying that both parties, if everybody wears a mask, you're only 2%. There's only a 2% chance you can catch it.
Right.
I say go ahead and wear a mask, man. But at some point, everyone's going to get it. I just, everybody gets the flu.
But, I see some of these people, they're like, like maybe wearing a bandana or something like that. And, it's like, if you, took a drag off a cigarette, you could blow smoke right through that bandana.
Yeah.
The virus could go right through that bandana.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
So them smoke particles are bigger than, so it's like some of the stuff I see the people wearing, it's like, that's not going to do anything.
Well, I will tell you what. If people, we'll put the email address. If you call, or if you email us and put in the subject line, free mask, we will send you a free mask till, what time is it? 8:04. 8:04. Email us until 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is the cutoff time. The email is, Justin, go ahead and type this in. The email is freedom, FREEDOM, of OF, sound, SOUND, DJ, at gmail.com. In the subject line, put free mask. I need your name and your address, and we will mail you out a free mask to wear. So, freedom of sound DJ at gmail.com. Here's the mask. Hey, if you want to hold that up there so they can see it. And you know what? It helps us out because it gets our email or our YouTube channel out there. So try to if you need one, even if you don't, it's free. We'll send it out to you. So if you want a free mask, go ahead and do that. Send an email out to freedomofsounddj at gmail.com. Subject line, free mask. And you didn't even get it in the camera, you moron. Stop typing and put it up in front of the camera. Man. No, but go, and this is while supplies last. I mean, I only see 6 people on here, so we got plenty to supply. But, yeah, if you want a mask, go ahead and we'll send you a free one. That's upside down, dumbass.
Can't do anything right.
Put it in front of the camera.
I think that's good.
You think? It's hard because we are seeing it as a delay
Yeah, I should probably
on our channel. Yeah, why don't you put it back to where we see it in real time?
OBS.
There we go.
Alright. Just gotta. Can you see that?
And it has, it says In Your Face with Fischer, and on the side it says YouTube. Hopefully people will get people to watch and get more subscribers and stuff. But anyway, yeah, these don't have no straps. They're just slits there for your ear, and they don't move. My wife loves wearing them, other than the tie face mask. Carrie likes wearing these better than any of the other ones.
She likes wearing those better than the strap-on.
Yes.
You'd rather she wore the strap-on, though, right? Yeah.
So Justin's modeling it right now, so he looks good in it. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong with people wearing face masks. I mean, I do see something wrong with them, the government telling you if you don't wear a face mask, we're going to fine you or throw you in jail. I do have a problem with that. But as far as people wearing face masks, choosing to, take that extra step, look at, you got 1 billion Chinese wearing face masks, and Koreans and South Koreans, and, that whole culture wears face masks. No wonder. But,
yeah.
Hey, Joe, you watch Louder with Crowder, don't you?
No, I don't.
You need to watch the clip or the on YouTube. They have him talking with Donald Trump Jr. I recommend everybody. There's my girthy Louder with Crowder mug club mug. But you know what? Trump Jr., Donald Jr., he's what's going on here? He's a real funny guy. He's down to earth. Seems like a nice guy. But man, he had me laughing. My mic or my headphones. There you go. All right. Had a little problem with my headphones there, Joe. But anyway, yeah, we're ready to, I think here in about 2 weeks, we're going to start getting the crew back together over here and start taking on different topics and put this COVID to bed. What do you think?
Yeah. But then when we start getting carried off by hornets.
Yeah. So, yeah, I am definitely looking forward to getting back together with you, Ed, and Dustin, and I don't think Austin's going to be a part of it anymore. But I really am looking forward to getting together with you guys and getting this show back on the road.
That's fun, yeah. That's fun.
So, Joe, we're going to let you go. Thanks for calling in, buddy.
Okay. All right.
And you have a great night.
All right, yep, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Always nice to talk to Joe, our resident conspiracy theorist. Joe is the that turns that down. There you go. Joe he analyzes things. He analyzes them to death, but he really puts when you talk to Joe, he can put a spin on things. And also with Ed, where you've never even thought about it, any subject you want to bring up, they really make you think. And people like that, I enjoy being around. That make you think and critical thinking. I mean, it's fun. You have to use your mind. And sometimes Joe will piss me the fuck off. But it's always good to get other people's opinions and not always what?
Inside joke.
Yeah. Excuse me. It's always good to get other people's opinion and not just go along with the narrative that you're given. Because a lot of times you're going to find out that the narrative is bullshit. But since we do have our Faithful Six listening. Anybody wants to call in? I don't know if Steve's listening. Who all do we have on the board there? Anybody?
Joe and Kim.
All right. Anything interesting? No? Okay. Joe and Kim, nothing interesting. Our friend Kim is having bringing me some Doritos, thyroid flavored. That's why I'm gaining so much weight. It's my thyroid flavored Doritos.
I thought you were trying to lose weight.
I lost 20 pounds.
Have you gained any back?
I'm sure I've gained some weight back, but I did lose 20 pounds. But it's a shame when you're so fat and you lose 20 pounds and you can't even tell. I am a big loser. Gosh. Oh, this is terrible. But that's all I really have for today, guys. I'm just glad to get back on here and get some out. Wish people would call. It was nice hearing from Harry today.
Yeah. Talk about Building 7.
And of course, Joe. I wish Steve would have given us a call. But I'm sure we'll get a hold of him soon enough. But what?
He might be at work.
I don't think he's working. I think his place of employment is shut down, and he got put on a furlough. So, what we got to do is we got to make sure that, we need to take steps to be safe. Nothing wrong with wearing a face mask. Like Joe said, especially if you have somebody like, elderly in your home. We need to take care of each other. It's something we haven't done in the past. We don't need the bullshit. We don't need the lies. We don't need the drama. We just need to take care of each other. Be sympathetic. Be understanding. We can disagree. That's what the United States is all about, is having your opinion, having your own views, and it being okay that you do have your own views. But that's really all I got today, guys. I wish I had some words of wisdom for you, but other than that, I just got to say, hey, take care of each other, take care of yourself. That's all we got for May 5th, the year of our Lord, 2020. Until next time, later.